Hello, welcome to another video, guys. Commander Blay, and this is your review of Chelsea versus Aston Villa game, which ended 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. What can I say at this point? It's just poor performance after poor performance after poor performance. It keeps becoming a cycle at this point. You know, we keep dropping points against poor opposition. Listen, Aston Villa have had a tremendous season so far. They're above us in the table on goal difference. They've got 2 games in hand on us. They've had, really good performances this season, and credit to them. But again, we were lethargic, we're slow. The build-up play, the moving of the ball, something's not right. Something is not right. We've rotated a lot today, and I genuinely believe that Lampard's job is in jeopardy. I genuinely do believe that. I think that he is in massive trouble. How long can this continue? I gave my thoughts after the Arsenal game. I'm officially Lampard out, and I still remain that way. I think that today really cemented it for me. I know we didn't lose, but we're at home. And we didn't win, and we didn't even deserve to win. That was a depressing part. You'd sense some sort of reaction. After the Arsenal game, and that simply wasn't the case. It simply wasn't the case. I was again extremely disappointed by that performance. I know we were 1-0 up in the half time, but we didn't play particularly well. We didn't create enough chances. If you look at the XG, the expected goals, you look at the statistics, it's not like we dominated the game. If anything, Aston Villa dominated us in large parts of that game, and Aston Villa, credit to them, they deserved to draw. I think a draw was the fair result over the course of the game as a reflection. But we weren't good, and there were so many players that underperformed today. It's not even a joke anymore. Mendy, what has happened to this keeper? Now, I'm not specifically blaming him for this goal, but I'm just saying for the past few games now, he has been extremely suspect. He's made too many mistakes now. Did he have a purple patch when he initially came? Is it wearing off? Maybe he's not as good as we all thought he was. We don't know. This season is so disappointing. It's been such an underwhelming season so far. We're currently 6 points off the top of the table, but Liverpool do have a game in hand on us. They could easily make it 9 points, and it's depressing. It honestly is depressing. What are we witnessing at this stage? I'm not going to come on there and rant continuously. I've done my rant against Arsenal. I'm just trying to be objective and get to the bottom of this. Why are we so poor in so many aspects of the game? In a transition, when we lose the ball, we're so poor. In the build-up play, the progression, how slow we are moving the ball. It's honestly a disgrace. The amount of quality and depth that we have, and we can't break these teams down. As I said, you spend £250 million in the summer, and you can't break a single team down. You spend this much on attacking talent. Have you seen the plays we bring off the bench today? Kai Havertz, Timo Werner off the bench. You had Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi playing today. You had Giroud on the pitch. You still had Tammy on the pitch. Ziyech is still injured, who hasn't even played yet. It's disgraceful, and you still can't break a team down like Aston Villa. You're relying on individual brilliance. You're relying on crosses after crosses after crosses. Why? It's literally every time I see this, it's a set pattern now. Shift the ball out wide to the flanks. Pass it to Chilwell or Reece James. Cross it in, and hopefully Giroud or Tammy will get a header onto it. Because essentially that is our build-up. That is not proper build-up. That is not build-up that's sustainable. That might get you a few goals a season, but that is not something that's sustainable. That is not something you can use long-term. I don't see any proper build-up. I don't see any fast movement, any fluid movement. Now, you can blame the players for that, but that really stems down from the management and the manager. What happens in the training ground. That is, I don't know what goes on in the training ground. Are we really fascinated to see any training clips? I really want to see what type of tactics that they are told, what type of in-depth tactics they're given, what they do in the training pitch, because that is disgraceful. That is shocking. Now, people are going to use the excuse of, we played on Saturday, we've only had a 48 hours turnover. Well, so have Aston Villa, so I don't want to hear that excuse. Aston Villa also played on Saturday. That was embarrassing. That is shameful. And these rumours that came out today about Thomas Tuchel being rumoured to join Chelsea, Christian Falk, who's the writer for CF Bayern, very reliable German journalist, reported that Tuchel's next likely destination is Chelsea if we carry on dropping points and not winning games. And so far, that is the picture that is being drawn at the minute. We are not going to win the title. The best we can hope for is top 4, and these performances are not good enough. They're not good enough. I don't see any progression. I don't see a pattern of play. I keep repeating myself every single time. When is it going to end? We beat West Ham last Monday. Cool, we won 3-0. But I wasn't impressed with the performance. I wasn't happy. It wasn't a convincing 3-0. We didn't deserve to win 3-0. Maybe a 1-0, even a draw would have been a fair result. We played similarly tonight against Villa, like we did against West Ham. What's the difference? Villa have a much better quality group of players. That's what it is. They've got a better manager and they've got better players. He was out tacticians, Frank Lampard. He was outsmarted, and they came to Stamford Bridge and nicked a point. What is this? It's honestly embarrassing. I don't want to hear the excuse of fatigue. We have a top quality squad. Aston Villa played on Saturday. They've got a thin squad. They came to Stamford Bridge and they nicked a point. It's a shambles. It's honestly a shambles. Now, I wasn't upset with the formation or the specific lineup. I was actually happy with the lineup. I thought the front three was perfect. You got Callum Hudson-Odoi, you got Pulisic in his best position. You got Giroud starting, who got the deserved goal. You then got N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, Mason Mount. I was happy with the lineup. It's the tactics that were set out on that pitch. Where was the urgency? Where was the energy? Where was the response? You got embarrassed on Saturday. You embarrassed our fan base. This is me putting the Frank Lampard part aside now. Forget Lampard for a second. Look at the players now. As a group of players, you embarrassed our fan base on Saturday. You made us a laughing stock. The least you could have done tonight was given us a reaction and won that game tonight. At least get the 3 points. If you're not going to play well, at least go out there and win. Chilwell nearly won the game at the end, to be fair. But go out there and react. I didn't see any of that. I saw players strolling. There wasn't enough urgency. There was a lot of rotation today, so I don't want to hear the excuse of no energy or fatigue. That was not good enough. The ball movement was too slow. There was no movement in between the lines. There wasn't any runs being made inside the flanks or the channels. There wasn't any aggression. There wasn't any urgency, and especially with the pressing, it was so disjointed. I don't see a collective press, and that again stems down from the manager. Frank Lampard is all about this counter-pressing, this gegen-pressing style, but I don't see it. I generally don't. I see maybe Mason Mount pressing, maybe Tammy Abraham or Pulisic pressing, but we don't press as a collective. Do me a favour, look at how Liverpool press and compare it to how we press. Liverpool's is organised press. You can tell that is done at the training ground. Ours is disjointed. You get a couple of players pressing, but no one else really presses. But then it makes it pointless. The idea of pressing is you force them to go long and you regain possession. But I didn't see that. You got 2 or 3 players pressing and the others are not pressing. There wasn't any organised press, it wasn't collective, and it's disjointed. And the other issue I have is you've got Kante and Mount, who are hyper-intensive. They're very intensive players that like to press. They just press randomly, like they're sheep. They don't actually do any organised press. It's not smart pressing. It's more about, energetic pressing. And smart pressing is always superior to energetic pressing. It's as simple as that. That is just facts. It's disjointed pressing, and it's all over the place. I don't see anything organised. There's no organisation. I don't see any, I don't see any, smart build-up. The build-up is slow. Kante had another poor performance. I know he's fatigued. You got Ben Chilwell again, average performance. He's probably fatigued. It's really poor. It's genuinely poor. It's not good enough. I don't see how people accept this, and people have the cheek to say, why are you Lampard out? Because I see this on a week in, week out basis. This is not good enough. It's not. We might scrape top 4 in the season, but we did that last year. So is there any progression from last year? No, there isn't. You spend £250 million and you're in the same position as you were last year. It's not good enough. I don't see any progress. It's not. We need a change in management immediately. We do. We generally do. We need a change in manager. We need new coaches. We need a new goalkeeping coach. There's a lot of things we need to change. Boredom level, I'm happy. I'm really happy with Mourinho and Sky. I'm happy with Rowan Abramovich. I don't have a problem with the ownership or the structure. The only issue I have is that management. We need a change in manager, and we need it fast. We can still save the season's still savable, but we need to make a change in a managerial position. However, I'm afraid it's not going to happen. I don't see Frank Lampard being sacked tonight. I really don't. There's a lot to fix up tonight, and Frank Lampard has to take a lot of responsibility, because that's something that's really annoyed me as well. He keeps deflecting blame, putting the blame on the players. Yes, players will take some part of the blame, but the main blame comes from the manager, and he needs to understand that.